team, I hope you're all well. Today we're filming in a little bit of a different position. I just thought we would mix things up a little bit and it might change things up a bit, change the room a bit. But today I am going to be filming another Readathon Survival guide, and this time we're going for a month long. I know it would make more sense to do a weekly one after a 24 and 48 hour one, but I am doing the challenge of 30 books in 30 days in the month of April, so I thought this would be a perfect time to give you all of my tips and tricks that I do to help me get through a month-long readathon. So this isn't a specific readathon, this is just me trying to read 30 books in 30 days. So let's go through some tips and tricks with you and let you know what I do to help get myself through the month. So one of the main things I like to do is plan ahead. So I try and plan as much of my actual content, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, well, but I do both of those, but YouTube, Instagram, whether you've got a blog or you do book talk, whatever it is you do and you regularly upload, try and plan ahead if you can, where you can. I do weekly reading vlogs, so those I cannot plan ahead, but my other videos that I upload, I can plan ahead. I always take my Instagram photos in advance, although I've been slacking a little bit on Instagram, but we're not going to go into that. But yeah, I always try and plan ahead where I can. It means that I don't need to spend as much time filming and editing during the month. It gives me more reading time. So where you can, try and plan your content in advance, and this will give you optimal reading time, and it's very, very helpful indeed. Similarly with plan ahead, most readathons have prompts, so if you can plan your TBR in advance. Some people are mood readers, so if you are a mood reader, just see how you're feeling on the run up to it and try and plan what you can. Maybe select several books for each prompt and you can dip in and out and see what you're feeling like in the moment. But I try and plan my TBR well in advance of the readathon so that I know exactly what I'm going to read, and also so that I don't read a book in the current month that would be perfect for a prompt for the upcoming readathon, because I have done that before and it's been frustrating, and then I've had to like buy a new book or find a new book elsewhere that I don't physically own because I've read the one perfect book that was on my TBR for that prompt. So this has happened to me a couple of times, so I always try and plan my TBR in advance, even if it's like a month in advance. I always try and plan it where I can. Also, meal plan in advance if you can. Again, will give you optimal reading time, and it's actually just good to do that anyway. Good practice if you can, if it's viable for you to do so. Meal planning in advance for the readathon is always a good idea. I know it's a month long, so maybe you can't meal plan for the whole month, but if you can do like 2 weeks at a time, that would be super helpful, and it means that it gives you more reading time, which is always a bonus. Also, check the rules of the readathon. If you are allowed to double or triple up or use one book for all of the prompts, see if you can do that. It just gives you more free reign. It takes the pressure off a little bit. You're taking part, but without putting too much pressure on. I'm an overachiever, so I try to do all the prompts in the readathons that I'm taking part in because I cannot help myself and I like to put pressure on myself. But if you can double up or triple up or use one book for the entire readathon, take advantage of it where you can. Try not to put the pressure on yourself. You want to have fun, that's the whole point in the readathon, so try and do this where you can. So mix your book consumption up. Physically read, audibly read ebooks, read graphic novels, read whatever you can to get yourself through the readathon. So I always find that mixing my books up is really good. Having a combination of big books and graphic novels is always really nice combination for me, or short books or novellas. But also I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and this is really helpful for making sure that I still get the house cleaned. I can listen to an audiobook on the way to and from work. I can, depending on my job at the time, I can listen to an audiobook at work as well. I can do other hobbies like bullet journaling, play Animal Crossing, diamond painting, do jigsaw puzzles whilst listening to an audiobook. So audiobooks are great, and I always recommend them for readathons. They're a great idea. However, if you're someone that doesn't listen to audiobooks, that's okay, and just consume your books in different ways. Maybe an ebook, maybe a physical book, maybe a graphic novel. Just mix things up a little bit. And again, the size of your books, mix it up. Rather than reading all chunky books or all small books, maybe you can get through a mix of the two, and it will help you with your pacing as well. You won't get too bored, and yeah, it should help you get through your readathon as well, and maybe complete all of those prompts. If you're not enjoying a book, DNF it. I am a huge believer of DNFing on the basis that I don't have all of the time in the world, and I have many a book I want to get to. Both books that come from publishers and books I own that are on my physical TBR, and I want to get to them all the time. So if I'm struggling through a book and I'm forcing myself through a book that I'm not enjoying, I'm going to come out the other end in a reading slump. I'm not going to want to pick anything else up, and I'm just going to be mad at myself. So if I'm not enjoying it, I just DNF it. I highly recommend DNFing. If you DNF a book for a prompt, it counts. So you don't have to then read something else for that prompt unless you want to. You've got time to do so. So yeah, DNF. Highly recommend DNFing all the time. I am a huge advocate for DNFing. Allocate time, like an hour before bed, is always really helpful. I do find that reading in bed helps make me a little bit more sleepier, so I do try and do that where I can, although I am terrible for then scrolling through my phone after I've put my book down. I am the worst for that. But allocating time throughout the day where you can, so like an hour before bed or an hour before dinner or something like that, or reading while you're on your lunch break, whatever, it adds up and it will really help you get through your book throughout the week and then eventually through the month. If you're someone as organised as myself, I like to structure my weeks within the month as well, so I can manage my TBR a bit better. So if I know I want to read, maybe I have a collection of 3 or 4 romance novels and I think, okay, well, I'll read them in 1 week and I can make that a dedicated reading vlog as well as part of the readathon. I just try and mix things up a little bit like that, so I can make it work for not only my YouTube content but also my reading consumption, how I'm going to read the books and in what order I'm going to read the books, but I can maybe also make a video out of it as well. So if you can do that, say you've got like 3 NetGalley books on your TBR as well, or 2 NetGalley books on your TBR for a certain readathon, pick another one just to read for the sake of it. If you've got a graphic novel or something, make a reading vlog out of it. Just little things like that worth considering. See if you can make the books that are on your TBR for the month-long readathon fit into a video. Can you make a video out of this? See what you can do with it. Try and mix it up and do little things like that. I always find that really helpful. For those of us who work in the week, have full-time jobs or go to uni full-time, school, college, whatever you're doing full-time in the week, sometimes it's not always easy for us to get through our books in the week. So again, utilize your weekends. I find it really useful to always utilize my weekend, and if I'm doing a month-long readathon and there isn't a 24-hour readathon set up for that month, I do my own 24-hour readathon within the month and binge a bunch of the books, or like 1 or 2 of the books that I'm trying to get through for the month-long readathon, and see what I can do in that 24 hours to get through the books. So for example, for me in April, doing 30 books in 30 days for April, we have Readathon on the 3rd of April, and then Dewey's 24-hour readathon is on the 26th of April. So I'm going to take full advantage of both of those 24-hour readathons in the month of April to binge a bunch of books in one go, so that it means that I can, throughout the rest of the month, then read a couple more chunkier books. If I binge a section of smaller books, it means I can read a bunch of chunkier books throughout the rest of the month, and it'll weigh themselves out and I'll get through the 30 books much easier doing it that way. But it also helps with, just in general, a month-long readathon. So take advantage of your weekends, and if you can, maybe slot a 24-hour readathon in if there's not one already planned to suit your time frame. Just make it work how you can. Again, if you want any tips and tricks on a Readathon survival guide for a 24 or 48-hour readathon, I will leave a link to it up here. I don't know where the hell the link goes. Here maybe? I'll leave a link to it anyway, so you can go check it out if you want to. I have done 24 and 48-hour readathon survival guide before, so if you want to check that out, you can do for more tips and tricks. Okay, make sure you don't burn out. Give yourself time to enjoy your other hobbies as well. Now, if you can combo this, like I've already previously mentioned, with an audiobook, awesome. My hobbies include Animal Crossing, bullet journaling, diamond painting, and watching movies. Obviously, if I'm watching a movie, I can't be reading, but my other 3 hobbies, I can listen to an audiobook at the same time. But don't let reading take over your life for the month-long readathon. If you want to put your book down and you feel like you want to watch a movie instead, do that. Listen to your body. If you want to put your book down and you want to play Animal Crossing, or you want to play PlayStation, or you want to do something else, you want to go for a walk, you want to hang out with your mates, do those things. Don't make reading your entire life for that month. Just enjoy it, have a good time with it, and make time for your other hobbies as well. Don't burn yourself out, because it is horrible to come out the other end of it and then have a reading slump for several months. It wasn't worth it if you do it that way around. Make sure you make time for your other things as well. Second to last tip is to take this opportunity to make some new friends. See who else is taking part in the readathon. Maybe there's a Discord channel, maybe you can chat to other people. I've met some amazing friends through readathons. I met Jade when she hosted Polathon last year for the 2nd year. That's how I met Jade. I met Becca. Me and Becca have been chatting for ages, but we got super chatty during Bookopolython last year. And again, I met Pris during Bookopolython last year. So take these opportunities to get to know people through the readathons. Similarly, I hosted Supernaturalathon not last year but the year before for the first time, and that's how I met Siobhan. So take this opportunity to make some new friends. It's always a perfect time to make new friends. Reach out to people, see what they're reading. If you're reading the same book, see if you want to buddy read it. Just chat to people and have a good time with it. Just really, really reach out. It's a perfect opportunity to reach out and make friends. And then the final one that I have for you is just to have fun. Just enjoy yourself. Don't put too much pressure on it. Nobody's policing it. Like, if it turns out your book didn't fit the prompt that you thought it was going to, it doesn't matter. At the time when you picked it, you thought it was going to. It's no biggie if it turns out that's not the case. No one's policing it. No one's going to come after you. It's just a bit of fun. So have fun with it. Have a good time. Don't burn yourself out. Just relax. Have a great time. Make some friends. And yeah, have fun. That's all it's about. So I hope these tips and tricks have been helpful for you. I am hoping to implement loads of these during the month of April for my 30 books in 30 days. I don't know what I'm thinking, in all honesty. I am terrified, but I'm really excited at the same time as well. Like, I am hyped to do this. I think it's going to be a good time. I'm terrified, but I think it's going to be a good time. And like I say, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments down below if you've got any other tips and tricks for month-long readathons specifically. And like I say, there will be a link in the cards for my 24/48 hour readathon survival guide if you want to check that out. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now.